Hello, my name is Bob Moline. I'm a retired manufacturing manager from Hudson. A quarter century ago, I was Jesse Ventura's campaign treasurer. So I've had an interest in finding ways to improve our politics for a long, long time. I'm a volunteer co-leader of a group called Bridge the Divide. My colleagues and I have done Final Five voting demonstrations for over 70 groups. That translates to 1,000 average citizens, and I mean average citizens. These presentations occur mostly in people's living rooms as their friends, their neighbors, their relatives are invited. We also do this as adult community ed classes, street festivals, fairs, and once at a gun show in Eau Claire. I have one message to share that I pass on to all these groups. I have one learning that I've picked up during these presentations that I'll share, and one perspective on our current system. First, a message I tell all my audiences: this is not about throwing the bums out. Number one, because you're not bums, and neither are your colleagues in Washington. This is all about changing incentives and structures. If we replaced every single person in office today, soon their replacements, those good people that replace them, would be making these same frustrating decisions as go on today. This isn't meant to change a single office holder. It allows those exact same people to govern better. And we've just heard some of it by removing some of the threats that prevent people from governing well today. As a matter of fact, this system has advantages for incumbent lawmakers as well as voters of Wisconsin. The learning that I share with you is this is not too complicated. We have done these demonstrations with 6, 7, 8-year-olds at street fairs. We have done this in the Sycamore Senior Living Home in River Falls. In one house party in Menominee, I had a 93-year-old gentleman attend this party. They all get it with very little instruction. Finally, I want to share a perspective on our current system, and I won't have to go into great detail. Kyle Brockman already described it in great detail, but it's so important to hit when you have these discussions that I have. And often they are pressing and probing, what is wrong with this new system? Or how could you game the system with Final Five voting? Over and over I hear concerns, and every time the answer is, that's not with Final Five that's the concern. That happens with today's system. We have an electoral system that, just like a sticky window or a squeaky hinge in a house you've lived in for 30 years, we can't even see the problem. We forget that there's a better way. Just as Kyle described, and I won't go into the whole story, the nightmare for a Republican in a Republican-leaning district is for one of those small adjacent parties to have a candidate, a Libertarian or Constitution Party candidate. The nightmare for a Democrat is to have a Green candidate run in your district. The candidates don't mean this way, but it siphons away votes from the major parties. And it's so effective at doing this. Every election cycle, we hear reports of a Republican funding a Green candidate, of a Democrat funding a Libertarian to siphon away votes from their true opponents. Final Five voting doesn't fix every problem in the world, but for this, it is the perfect solution. It literally flips it on its head. If I were a Republican with Final Five voting, the best thing would be for a Libertarian to pull more conservative voters into the polls. If I'm a good Republican, I'm going to be their second choice. With Final Five, the best thing for a Democrat is Green candidates to pull more progressives to the polls. If I'm a good Democrat, I'll be their second choice. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. We don't have to live with a broken election system. We don't have to live with that squeaky hinge, that sticky window. Pick up your toolkit and let's fix it now. Thank you so much.
Well, you didn't disappoint. Thank you. That was good.